Hello, hello from sunny Vermont. I hope you're all having a great week. It's very customary for me to work on more than one painting at a time when I'm filming for YouTube, but also when I'm just doing work for myself. And this is one of the other paintings that I was creating sort of in a batch. And I'm using similar colors to the ones you've seen in a video I posted a couple of weeks ago. And the theme is somewhat similar, but the outcome is very different. Well, I guess somewhat different. It's pretty different. I think if you stick around, you'll see that it's a different painting altogether. But I really love the colors, and so I've decided to use them again, and I'm using them in a bit of a different way, but also some of it you'll see is similar to what I've created before. So if you like that first video, you'll probably enjoy this one. And you might in fact enjoy it a little bit more because it is, like I said, a different painting, and it does, although it's still an abstract painting, it does have a little bit more of a floral theme to it, and you'll see what I mean as I go on. The first one I painted was an abstract landscape with abstract flowers, and the flowers were really abstract. In this painting here, they're not going to be exactly like real flowers either, but I think there's a little bit more of a feel of a floral painting. So please keep watching and let me know your thoughts. I've pulled out my fine-grained table salt again, and I'm going to apply some of it in the bottom part of the painting where I just added paint, so that part of the paper is still quite wet. And I'm also going to add it a little bit into that soft lilac that's close to the turquoise. And because that part of the painting is a little bit drier, you'll really see that there is a difference in the texture that's created. The texture on the bottom is much more pronounced, and the texture in the soft lilac is a lot more subtle. Because again, the paper was not as wet, and so the salt doesn't react in the same way. In the first painting I created a few weeks ago, I had blended that purple a little bit higher, and I lost a lot of that soft lilac that you can see just above the purple here. So this time around, I'm gonna try blending some of that purple upwards, but I'm not gonna blend it upwards as much as I did in the last painting because I really want to keep that soft lilac. I added just a little bit more turquoise underneath the purple, and now I'm adding that green from my Mungio set, and I'm trying to brighten up that area on the bottom. Let's have a closer look at the background now that it's dry. I really love those soft textures that the salt created in the soft lilac, and then the more pronounced textures that are created in that green section. Using my circle guide and a pencil, I'm now mapping out where my sun will be. In my intuitive creative process, the paint and the paper are as much my partners in the process as they are my tools. I look at the different textures and marks that have been left behind as the paper was drying, and I often use those as guides for my sketching, or doodling, I guess. Like I did in my first painting, I'm adding some vertical lines to represent abstract grass. And then I start to add stippling using the same pen to create a more contrasting line between the different layers of grass and leaves. You'll notice that right on top of this specific layer and on the bottom now as I'm working, the textures that were created by the salt make it look a little bit like those are bushes in the background, and I really like that. So I'm happy with how that's looking, and I'm gonna try to keep it fairly simple. This is where the painting really starts to take a different look from the first painting. It's always more relaxing and fun for me to create simple shapes, so this is what I'm doing. I love the beautiful contrast this black fountain pen is creating, so I'm now going to use it to create some little floral designs. In keeping with my floral theme, I'm now using my white pen to add some little dots, and I'm putting them in groups of 3 so that they look a little bit like little white flowers. I'll also use my white pen to bring some of that white down into the grass on the bottom. This will continue to create balance as I add more value contrast in my painting. Now it's time to add some of that beautiful star gold I love so much. Since my star gold is already out, now's the perfect time to start working on my sun. When I'm working on a small scale like this, I really appreciate having the flexibility to move my substrate around so that I can make the painting process easier for me. Using the same brush, I'll add some little dots of gold into my flower area. Now I'll start working on adding some more details to my sun, and I'll do this by using my fine tip pen. To create some more contrast in the top part of my painting, I'll use my fountain pen to create some stippling around the center of my sun. In another effort to create contrast in the top part of my painting, I'll add some splatters of that beautiful purple. And just like that, it's time to make the final reveal. I ended up liking the outcome of the first painting I created, but I actually really love the outcome of this one. It's a lot more serene, less busy, and it just speaks to me more. Here's a closer look at some of the details in the painting. Please don't hesitate to share any questions or comments in the section down below. I always appreciate you making the time to join me on my creative journey. So I want to say a huge thank you for doing so. I hope you have a wonderful week and happy creating!